Hi everybody, it's Ron Wilstein. It's Martin Luther King Day. I'm at the Park City Mountain Resort and it is snowing like crazy. Having a great time. I just got off the Tombstone lift at the top of Cloud 9, just preparing to shoot on down there. Snow, say about a foot deep of new powder, which is great, and there's more on the way. So we are definitely having a wonderful season. Plenty of snow, not like I should say, the previous year or two where we were really scrambling for it. We're having a wonderful season. Hope you come out to ski and don't miss out on this. Gotta go. Bye. Well, that was a wonderful day of skiing. I understand you went out too.
I was out there as well, and we did laps on the magic lines off of 9990, and we had powder shots every single time on down. It was wonderful.
Yeah, there really is something to this El Nino. We're getting lots of snow this year. Well, we have a lot to cover. Welcome to our Park City Market Talk. This is our January 2016 issue, so we're into a new year. I'm Ron Wilstein, broker here at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide.
And I'm Doug Olmsted, the seller's property consultant here on the Wilstein team. Thank you again so much for joining us today.
So we need to, of course, begin the year by giving you a good greeting. Happy New Year 2016. The Sundance Film Festival is here in Park City. Lots of action and excitement and a little bit of traffic too.
Traffic's already starting, but it's always fun to see the excitement coming in. They're putting up the tents and getting ready for everything to happen.
Plenty of celebrities and very, very interesting films each year. You may want to make your way to their website. If you go to sundance.org/festival, it'll take you to this website. Plenty of information on tickets, programming, press releases, you name it. Check that out and enjoy the film festival this year.
We'll of course go over the Park City real estate market update, show you how the market compared to 2014. We found this new app called Suggest It. It's available right now for Apple, and it will be soon available for Android. But we're going to talk more about that. Pretty cool app just for Park City.
Yep. Anyway, we'll give you details on that in a moment. Then we want to report the latest news, and the latest news is Vail Resorts buys another ski area in the U.S., and we'll give you all the details on that.
With all the volatility in the stock market right now, we're going to talk about what happens to real estate when the stock market drops.
All right. And then we'll conclude with my predictions for the Park City real estate market in 2016, and each year we'll see at the end of the year how I did. So let's begin by looking at Park City real estate market. We are looking back at 2015 and comparing it with 2014 with all the data that we provide you with today. To start out with 1,361 sales in Park City during 2015. It's actually down by about 11 sales or 1% from what occurred the previous year, 2014. And that consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined, all real estate brokerages combined.
You can see we broke it down by homes, condos, and vacant lots. Home sales were down 3% from 518 sales in 2014 to 501 in 2015. Condominiums up 7% from 644 sales to 692. And lots down 11% from 188 to 168 sales. If you've been watching these webinars, you'll remember that that's from very much of a shortage of availability and vacant lots for sale.
Now let's break this down in greater detail. This graph that you're looking at is focusing on home sales. This time we've broken it into the Park City area and the Snyderville Basin area. Home sales are actually down by 13% in the city limits from 183 sales in 2014 to 159 2015, primarily driven by a lack of inventory and choices of properties to buy. Snyderville Basin, however, was up by 7 sales or 2%, climbing from 335 sales to 342 this past year.
We'll break it down. Condominiums were down 12% from 377 sales to 331 sales, but in the Snyderville Basin we're up huge 35%.
Wow.
From 267 sales to 361.
And then lot sales, we're seeing within the city limits decreased, statistically speaking, 28%, but we're looking at such a small sampling, falling from 36 sales to 26 sales. It's 10 sales, but that's such a small inventory that I just don't want you to put a lot of weight into that. Snyderville Basin also dropped in 10 sales from 152 in 2014 to 142 in 2015, but this time it's a 7% decrease, and that's a little more accurate since we're dealing with higher figures here.
The good news is in the market, days on market for how long properties stay on the market down 15% from 123 days on market to 104. So as this goes down, that means it's an upward trending market. That's good. That's
right. And when properties are priced correctly, even given some room for some extra appreciation over the previous comparable sales, properties are moving quickly. Now let's take a look at prices, because everybody wants to know what's happening with prices. Here we're looking at home medium sold prices, again in the Park City area or the Snyderville Basin. Take a look at this appreciation, both on this chart and on the graphs to follow. In the city limits, an increase in 15% from the medium sold price climbing from $1,300,000 all the way to $1,500,000. Snyderville Basin saw 14% increase with the medium sold price climbing from $775,000 to $881,350.
And condominiums in Park City limits up 12% from $532,000 to $595,000. And in Snyderville Basin up 11%, a nice gain also from $360,975 all the way up to $400,000.
And here we are looking at lot sales in the city limits. Again, not a huge amount of sales, but appreciation of 10% from $574,500 to $630,000. Snyderville Basin, 19% rise from $327,500 to $390,795. So if you combine those last three graphs that we've shown you, in every category, homes, condos, lots, in every area, Park City or Snyderville Basin, double-digit appreciation.
That's huge.
That's great.
So that app I was talking about, again, is available right now only for Apple, coming soon for Android, but just go to your app store, download suggest.it, suggest it, and once you do that, it'll take you to this page where you can go ahead and choose the what interests you, whether entertainment, get involved, high school, networking, whatever it might be. I actually selected all of them just to keep updated on everything. But it's like a social media app, kind of like a Facebook that's just for Park City. It's really pretty cool. So you get this constant stream of what's going on. I had no idea there's a TED Talk coming to Park City. Gives you ideas on restaurants and discounts and special events, you name it. It's really pretty cool. I would definitely suggest it.
What I find so interesting about it is it reports and gives you feeds on things that aren't in the news and are not spoken about on KPCW on the radio, but they're on this. I'm an Android guy, however, so I don't get it yet, but if you have an iPhone, you get it right away, and soon Android will report as soon as it becomes available there so that you can check that out, those of you who are in the other camp. Well, Vail Resorts, always in the news, always surprising us, and they've done it again. Vail Resorts, near and dear to our heart, bought Park City Mountain Resort, combined it with Canyons, and this year, for the first time under the same name, with the improvements of $50 million, have made our town's resort hugely improved in every category, I think. They went on to purchase Perisher, which is a resort in Australia, and if that wasn't enough, they reached out to Wilmot Mountain, which is more of an urban resort, a little different flavor when we're used to the Rocky Mountain skiing experience. Vail Resorts, just a week ago, or within the past week, acquired this third urban ski area in the Midwest. It's located about halfway between Chicago and Milwaukee, and they're apparently collecting those resorts as well.
Two other urban ski areas are Afton Alps, which is near Minneapolis, and Mount Brighton, just outside of Detroit. So they're grabbing those resorts.
Now, we can't help but talk about the Epic Pass here, and the Epic Pass is that pass that allows you at any of Vail Resorts to purchase it and take that same pass to another resort. So anywhere in the country, in fact, on the globe. You can go outside the country. You can take that Epic Pass and use it at other resorts. So I suspect that our skiers who are used to the Detroit experience and Milwaukee experience are going to take that pass and bring it to Rocky Mountain Powder, experience real snow instead of that ice.
But Chicago has an estimated 800,000 skiers who will have access to the Epic Pass and be able to ski the resorts in the West, Colorado, Utah, and California with it.
So they're going to be definitely digging it.
Yeah.
Details on the deal were not disclosed, but Vail Resorts did spend about $10 million each on the Afton Alps and Mount Brighton back in 2012 when they were acquired, and invested another $10 million each in upgrades into both mountains. So that may be an indicator of what they spent. Maybe we'll hear about it, maybe it get disclosed, but Vail has definitely shown that when they acquire resorts, they put money into it, most of all near to home, $50 million into our Park City resort.
Vail plans to renovate and update the entire ski area with new terrain parks, a new instruction program, expanding dining options, race programs, and of course improvements to snowmaking, which they did here. If you've skied over a canyon, the canyons area like Iron Mountain, the snowmaking has been fantastic.
Yes, it really has. So Vail Resorts buys another resort, they do it again, and now I'm just sort of waiting and watching for when they do it again, because they just love to buy resorts. All right, we've got to turn our attention to what's on everybody's mind, which is the stock market. This year, according to all news broadcasts and certainly the financial channels, you know that this year started out with the worst decline in the history of the market. And so we've got to talk about a topic that we do speak about every now and then, and that is what impact does the fall in the stock market have on real estate? Overall, people's confidence in the economy drops with the stock market. You get uncertain, and while most of our attention is going to either China today or price of oil, people lose confidence, they get nervous. Buyers' financial resources are also declining as their brokerage account drops in value, and that often reduces their buying options, and in some instances actually takes them out of the real estate market if they were planning to use that money for real estate.
However, investors often choose to move out of stocks into real estate. They see the real estate as a more stable investment and one that they can actually use, which is nice.
That's right. You can't ski in your stock portfolio.
You cannot do that.
I've tried it.
Real estate is tangible. Stocks are intangible. After taking a beating, in the stock market, they often prefer a tangible asset.
So with this shift, we will have a focus turning back to real estate, and Park City, of course, offering real estate as well. Investors know that real estate is not as liquid and easy to sell as stocks. That's maybe the downside if you want to have the option to pull your money out. On the other hand, they know that real estate has a consistent history of growing and appreciating in value over time. So from an investor's point of view, it's a solid choice and an easier choice to make when the stock market is taking the hit that it's taking right now. So a drop in the stock market often leads investors to purchase real estate as long as the drop is not so severe that it takes the investors out of the real estate market due to a decrease in their capital to invest.
All right, let's look at 2016.
Got to look at it here. We just rolled over. We're in January 2016. Each year I try to take a look at the market with my crystal ball, there it is, and see what's going to happen in the new year. So this is my best shot at it based upon patterns that I see. First of all, let me just say that we'll see a lot of new homes and condos in 2016. There are, both in Deer Valley and the Park City area, a lot of properties and projects coming online, really up a little over 20 of them, new developments underway. We will be reporting on them through our webinars and our newsletters and our websites, but that's a lot of inventory coming online. Many buyers do prefer to purchase a new property, and they like the latest bells and whistles that come with that, and so they're going to be drawn toward that. The new properties will become competition for the older ones, and that means that if you are an owner of an older property, perhaps it hasn't been upgraded over the years, it may be time for you to either do some upgrades and enhancements to your property in order to compete against these new properties, or you're going to need to adjust your price accordingly, because to seduce or attract those buyers to buying an older property as opposed to a newer one the latest bells and whistles and features, etc., you'll either need that or you'll need to give them some form of a discount. That's what I see happening with all this inventory in 2016. Homes and condos will continue to sell 30 days or less, often with multiple offers when priced reasonably. What I mean by reasonably is if you price under 10% above current fair market, you're going to be pushing the market up as you've seen prices going up per the graphs that we shared with you, but not going so high that buyers slam on the brakes and I have no interest. We've seen it time and time again for the last several years that if you price over that 10% point above fair market, it's not just a slowdown, your property doesn't sell. It's very few exceptions to that rule. So you kind of know how far you can push it. Of course, if you're trying to sell it quicker, then you sell at a current fair market price or a little bit above. Next, let's talk about condominiums. Condominium sales I anticipate will continue to be strong in the new year, 2016. In terms of number of sales and rising property values, already reported that while in the city limits condo sales were down from the previous year, they blasted through in the Snyderville Basin with that 35% increase. Older homes and condos that have not been significantly upgraded will have some difficulty to sell. Again, today's buyer wants to see these latest improvements, and they will buy them first and they will pay more money for them. But that's a reality that you have to face, and anybody with a older property, with the exception of historic Old Town where you thrive on being an older property if you're in Old Town, has to just realize that that's an impact coming. And these are my predictions for 2016, but it's going to roll into 2017 as well. Vacant land, I anticipate prices will rise as we saw in 2015, but not as many sales, primarily due to fewer choices available, not a case of lack of interest, but just lack of choices and selection to buy. Lots did take off in 2015 due to that limited number of homes for sale. We reported numerous times in our webinars that this is why buyers turned over to lots to buy because they couldn't find the right houses. Now the phenomena that occurred for the last quarter or so of 2015 is that sellers seeing the value of the market, prices going up, pushed their prices too high, pushed it beyond that 10% range, and then what happened was it slowed down the market, and that's what will happen. Cash purchases, 2016, they'll remain strong, and that's because 50% of all sales in Park City are completed without financing. Buyers have a lot of cash and they're willing to spend it on real estate in Park City. So overall, let me just say that prices will continue to rise in 2016, but a lesser amount than we saw in previous years. We reported earlier in this webinar a year-over-year comparison that we saw double digits in every category. I don't know that we're going to be able to see that in the new year. I think still see rising, but I'm not sure we're going to see double digits in every category. Number of sales will remain about the same as in 2015. I don't think we'll see more sales, it just will be distributed differently. Well, that was a lot we covered here, and we're available to answer any questions that you may have. You can always email me at ron@thewilsteinteam.com or Doug
at thewilsteinteam.com.
And if you want us to give you a call back, include your phone number, preferred time, and we're happy to contact you to discuss anything that we've covered in this webinar or any of things on your mind about Park City real estate. So with that in mind, thank you for participating in our webinar. We will update it, of course, monthly. Next one, February 15th. And you can always go back, catch previous webinars on topics of interest at thewilsteinteam.com/webinar archives. So from Park City, we're going to take off. Tomorrow I am definitely skiing, and hope you come out there to ski as well.
Have a great day. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.